Hello! It's January the 25th today,
Yes.
and we're here in the countryside in Kent, just looking at what the countryside's talking to us about. So, Dave, do you want to explain? You're the master.
Yes. We're now into late winter. For me, that's the 14th of January through to the end of March. And as you can see, or we'll see from the film, there's still plenty of berry food out here for the birds to see, and there's plenty of low stuff for the mammals, mice, voles, moles, etc., for them to eat. But this is a day after the big storm that never arrived here, but it's very wet, and we haven't had that much rain in January for us and for you down in Dorset as well. It's been very cloudy, very dull.
Yeah,
but
but
quite dry.
Yeah, and loads of frost.
Yeah, you've had snow. We haven't had any snow here yet.
Yeah, that first week. I mean, most of the country, apart from
Yes.
London and the very
Yeah.
southeast corner, had snows, didn't
But
they?
we're in the protected by the valley because there's hills all round us. So if you go up there, Sevenoaks through to Wallingham, I went up to Purley, which is the other side of the North Downs, last week, and there was nothing like this here. I got up the top of Titsy Hill, 3 inches of white snow.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and this is it.
And we had snow in November too.
We had the earliest snow for many a season.
I mean, considering this storm came from the west, it's still quite cold today, isn't
Yes,
it? It's
it is
pretty
cold
chilly.
today, but what the weather people, they always do it from the west, and yet here in the southeast corner and up the east coast, East Anglia and Yorkshire, ours comes from the near continent,
Yeah.
Alsace, northern France, Belgium and Holland, and it's bitterly cold over there.
Yeah,
So that blows across the North Sea, gets to the coast with a bit of moisture, then hits the motorways and then tips out as it warms.
yeah. And so we had our November snow, as we thought.
Yes,
December was a nothing month, as we thought.
yes.
January, we've had really early snow for some.
Yes,
A lot.
Yes, for a lot.
We've had
but all
dry-
the country, as we said on the website, all the country, including the West Country, would get snow,
Yeah,
which is quite true.
yeah. So that's still to come. So we've got a snowy moon, which is next on the 29th of January,
Yes,
I think.
yeah.
And then we've got further snow moons across
Yes.
February. I mean, March isn't much better, to
No.
be honest.
And for the people north of the Humber, we're going into the first and second week of April
Yeah,
with, if cold enough, snow. So a long, long winter, as we predicted.
so there's a lot of people kind of thinking, oh, we've had our snow, it's
Yeah.
over now. No, it's not. It's
You can
just
forget
beginning.
it. You can forget it because winter hasn't started yet.
Yeah. So that's what's sort of to come for the next few months. Cold,
Very cold.
bit gloomy, bit
Gloomy,
snowy.
yes. Inconvenient.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, there's a crow, but just in front of the crow, see the little bird?
Oh yeah.
That is either, I think it's a redwing. Got a colouring on it, that's a redwing. That's a winter migrant.
Yeah,
You
you're
may
right.
see
it
some more
is.
later on of those.
Excellent. All right. Well, should we keep walking and showing people around,
Yeah.
and then we'll come back and do a bit more chatting in a bit.
Yep, a member of the Berberis family. Interestingly, you will notice there's lots and lots of berries here, but if you just go over to here, so when they finished all these ivy berries, then they'll start on the red Berberis berries. They've had hardly any, you see, there's no bare stalks at all. Early signs of spring, the yellow celandine flower, not affected by frost at all, so that'll last right the way through to the start of summer. Very hardy little flower. Stinking iris plant, again food for the birds. Earlier in the year there were 4 stalks, and as you'll see now, only the one is left. But nature looks after its own. And that also the small mammals, the mice, the voles, they eat those as well. Oak tree holds its leaves, they caramelise and they become windproof and weatherproof. so that the birds can sit in behind there, close up to the tree, and they're out the wind and they're out the rain. If you're on sandy soil like you haven't got oak trees.
Yeah.
But up here in this neck of the woods, it's all oak trees, so...
I know the oak trees we do have, yeah, as you say, because of that sandy soil.
Yes.
They
yeah.
don't really stay on the trees
No.
as well as they do here.
It's a sweet sesame plant.
Yeah, this was full of rose hips, wasn't it, a few months
Yeah,
ago?
absolutely chock-a-block. Robin's pincushion. Inside there are insects. Standby food for the birds for later in the winter.
So there's more of winter to come, evidently.
Yes, we're still into... We've just started, for our purposes, late winter. Early winter runs from the 10th of November to the 14th of January, and late winter runs from the 15th of January through to the end of March.
I'll just see if I can get really close up on this. There you go. Oh, that's better. Robin's pincushion.
Yeah. And it grows on the wild briar rose, and there's some hips off the wild briar rose. Don't grow on anybody else, just a wild briar rose. Standby food, blackbirds, thrushes, pigeons, jays. You notice it's still left there, and a little to the right behind it, honeysuckle flower beginning to sprout. See? There, honeysuckle, early signs of life.
And so will honeysuckle kind of survive the cold
Yes, it will
spell that's to
survive.
come?
Yeah, that's frost tolerant.
Let's get a
As you can
close-up
see,
on
there's
that.
quite a bit down here. It's all frost tolerant.
Wow.
And we had a storm 2 weeks ago, and this came crashing down during the night.
So this was a poplar tree.
A black poplar, yes.
That is fully...
And they were lucky because he just missed all the cables by literally
Oh, yeah.
centimetres
Wow.
there, which of course blocked everything off. So the farmer and his boys had to come out with the saws to clear the road for the farm.
Oh, bless them. They're so good, the farmers. They help with so much, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so we found some mistletoe, the berries from which are gone now. But it's really interesting mistletoe, so I'm going to get Dave to tell us about it.
Well, it's a parasite that lives on trees, as you'll find a lot down in the West Country on the cider orchard. But as you can see here, there's some above us,
Yeah.
and some of them, they've been here years, these have. Yeah.
And the balls of mistletoe are often misidentified as nests, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh no, they're definitely not nests.
And that's
A source of food for the birds, yes,
And
but
they're-
not nests.
And they, because you can see, look in that tree behind, people look up and go, oh look, it's a bird's nest. Well, it's actually mistletoe. Spread around by birds.
Yes.
The seeds are very sticky, so they go and sit on the tree, and then it lives off on the tree as kind of a parasite with the
Yeah.
tree as its host, really.
And this is living on a black poplar tree.
Yeah.
And there is some buds waiting to come in the spring of the black poplar.
There you go. You can see the early buds there.
Early buds there. They will be, the base of the bud will be a rusty orange colour, and the upper bit will be yellow and green, and then when it bursts it goes into a beautiful green colour.
Aww.
Yeah. But as you can see, just looking round, there's loads and loads of leaves still to come because there's buds everywhere.
Yeah. Very pretty. Yeah, loads of lichen this
Yeah.
year.
You can eat that.
Yeah, you said it's quite nice fried up with
Yeah.
some butter.
There's grey lichen, green lichen and yellow lichen. It's a living plant.
It's cool.
Birds
Loads
take
of
it for the nests and for food. But as you can see, it's quite brittle. You can put that in a pan with garlic butter. It tastes lovely. It's quite prickly,
Yeah.
coarse.
You got yellow.
Yeah.
green and grey, all in one shot there. Yay, some signs of life in the country. Look at all the sheep.
See, it's typically English, isn't it?
It's beautiful. Love it. Love Kent countryside. My two favourite counties, Kent and Dorset.
Sign of a hard winter still to come.
Yeah, all their thick coats.
Yep.
Don't confuse Bailey with a sheep, of course. Just found some deer footprints. So that's a really good one for your muddy walks to look out for with kids. They love finding deer footprints.
Yep. The sheep behind are pregnant ewes. The farmer here has got about 600 lambing ewes, and these are all inseminated around firework night, and they'll all give birth at various stages from late March through April into early May, which means that with 600 ewes we could quite safely expect 800-900 lambs. So busy time, which is why there are no walks between now and the mid-May period. And all these fields around will be covered in lambs and ewes from April onwards.
We'll get some footage of that for everyone.
Once the tups, which are the male sheep, were put in at fortnightly intervals. Each had a different colour, so the first fortnight will be green, the second fortnight will be blue, the third fortnight will be red, and you can tell which ewes have inseminated by the colour on the back, on their back where they've been inseminated. And then later, when they come to seeing how many lambs they've got, how pregnant they are and how if they've got any singles, doubles or triples, they know which ewes are the best, which tups are the best producing tups.
All the berries filmed along here months ago are completely gone. Not a berry in sight. It was full not so long ago, wasn't it? I think it was September we were last here, and this was beautiful. It was a complete field of yellow, wasn't it, David?
Yes, yep.
And I wondered why none of these have been cut down, given that it's January.
Now the farmer left them because they provide natural seeds for all the wildlife, and to attract them in behind us, where Bailey is, that is a pheasant feeder. He fills that with grain and the pheasants will come down and eat. So they got grain and they've also got seeds.
Oh,
And
that's
why
so
he's left it
lovely.
there, you see.
Looking after the wildlife. The farmers
Yes.
are so good for us and our wildlife. So thank you, farmers. And you can actually see there, some of them have been eaten and some of them remain. Good old sunflower seeds. Dave's going to show you two.
There we are.
There you go. Sunflower seeds. Amazing.
There.
Burdock.
Oh, there's some burdock there, another seed plant.
So that was what Velcro was inspired by.
Yep.
Lots of seeds for the birds.
Yeah.
Some more over here, as Dave's just pointed out.
There we are, look at that.
There you go, look. Woo, woo. That's how Velcro was created, or well, it was inspired by it. Pretty though, isn't it?
I drove a tractor for him one year when we were harvesting. Took 5 hours to cut this field.
Really?
Yeah.
Dear. Just noticed the sun setting. We better get going.
And that was
In September, this was full of bullus fruits, little damson type fruit. And now the birds have eaten them all and they've all gone.
They were delicious as well.
They were the original plum, weren't
Yeah.
they? So,
They were amazing.
Yeah.
And a good lesson for countryside walkers with their dogs. A farmer is legally within its right to shoot your dog if he feels his animals are at threat. So always keep your dog on a leash when there's livestock around.
and here we have hazel catkins. They flower towards the end of this month, and 180 to 190 days later, around the 18th of August, we'll be picking hazelnuts. So these are the flowers, and they will produce the hazelnuts. Because there's so many, can be quite reliable to say that there'll be a very, very good nut harvest come August this year. The secondary purpose of this is more food for the birds, but there's plenty of food out there at the moment, but they're quite pretty.
So we've had our first 2 generations of ivy. Third generation starting to come through.
So still a lot of winters to come.